Hi, my name is Trevor. I'm a senior manager in the software industry. I'm here reviewing Hotjar, which I give a 5 out of 5. And for more reviews like this, click below. As I've used various user research software platforms, I found that many of them just didn't bring everything all under one roof like I needed it to. I'd used SurveyMonkey for polls and surveys. I'd used Lucky Orange for visitor recordings and Crazy Egg for confetti maps and movement maps. And each of them are really good at those specific areas. Lucky Orange was spot on for viewing one-on-one visitor recordings. Crazy Egg was great for viewing the click maps that I needed. But what I was shocked was with Hotjar, everything was brought under one roof and it was made a lot easier to use. I didn't feel like I had to use multiple platforms anymore, and I could review and deploy all of my data from one place. At the time, it was the only platform that could do that for me and take everything from the absolute highest funnel of just reviewing conglomerate user data on click maps and scroll maps all the way down to individual one-on-one data from recordings or survey results or polls. That's what made Hotjar stand out to me. Beyond bringing all of the user research tools into one place, something that I really loved about Hotjar was the ability to segment them, to go back through and take users who scrolled to certain areas on the page and then filter them by browser or filter them by device. Likewise, being able to take survey results and break them down by different users or be able to view trends from different polls. Those tools really stuck out as things that allowed me to take things from the macro level and take them down to an individual level where I can package them up and base hypotheses on those of how I should change my website based upon how different users are viewing them. If you look at data at a macro level, it's not as useful. Different users have different needs. But if I'm able to break it down by browser or demographic or device type, then I can target different pages to different users and alter the content accordingly, which is much more effective. Onboarding with Hotjar can be done in an afternoon, potentially less if you don't need any snack breaks. It's very simple to log in, choose a plan, and start setting up campaigns immediately. Integration with your website is a snap when you use Google Tag Manager. That's my favorite way. You simply punch in your Hotjar ID, it's 7 or 8 digits maybe, and a new Google Analytic or Google Tag Manager tag, and it deploys immediately. No downtime, no caching required. And when it comes to learning how to use Hotjar, their skills library is awesome, and there's plenty of white papers and content where you can learn how to set up a heat map, scroll map, or any of their other tools within minutes. If you're a smaller business looking to get into user research, Hotjar is an absolute no-brainer. The cost is nominal. It's very inexpensive, and there's even free plans. But if you're a larger business and you're looking to do larger scale research projects, you might want to consider the cost of Hotjar and what you ultimately need to do prior to choosing a tool. There are very few tools that I say would offer the exact same suite as Hotjar, but when you start looking at the cost, which can quickly accelerate into thousands of dollars a month, depending on how much traffic you want to flow through the tool, you may want to consider something like user testing instead. I think user testing is for an entirely different audience, but if you need to do that one-to-one user research, it's definitely a competitor with Hotjar if you have potential high Hotjar cost. Like I said, if you have a low Hotjar cost, there's no replacement. It's 100% worth it. But if you're a large company, maybe consider what else you could use that budget for before forking out a couple $1,000s for Hotjar. I think their pricing model is competitive on the low end. It loses some of that competitive edge on the high end, especially when you need to commit large chunks of budget to different initiatives throughout the year.